Hi. Okay, first of all, I would like to say I have changed a bit in the API. It's regarding how to get to the children and the parents structure of the conduits. So I don't know if you have used that yet, but if you get any problem with previous queries, if you have used the children or parents attributes, there might be a slightly difference now. So I also find some bugs in terms of getting the right segments that the conduit segments are related to. So it should be fixed now. Everything. Um, so anyway, in this video, I will try to make some more, you can say, advanced queries. I want to look inside this cabinet here called SPEs 1010 and try to query all the stuff that all the conduit that are related to this guy. Um, so again, this picture here, if we have, if this is a cabinet, this round one here, what I can do is I can kind of query everything that goes into this guy, multi-conduits, single conduits, and inner conduits, and go from there to build, UI and stuff like that. So let's say we want to build something like this. There's actually several ways to get that information from the API. You can get like all these rows in one, like one flat list. So that's the multi-conduits. Oh, sorry, these are the two single conduits, right? And this is a multi-conduit, and this is some inner conduits of this multi-conduit. You could get each of these like in one long list. You can also choose to get, for example, only the multi-conduits and not the inner conduits, and then underneath that one, get the children. I'm going to show you how to do that. So on this related conduits relationship or field you have on the root node. By the way, I'm going to add this one to the root segment also very soon. I haven't got it there yet, but it's very easy to add it, so I should just do it because, of course, you also want to know in the root segment which conduits are passing by there. But, okay, just a side note. Anyway, it's possible to specify to filter off some of the stuff if you don't want it. So in this example here, I just say I only want the multi-conduit. I can also say, for example, I want the single conduits only, like this. So you get there's actually 3 single conduit going inside this node. And if you wonder why, it's because actually I created in my test network here, I create 2 single conduits that goes from this junction, um, conduit junction thing there, here. So they will be used for blowing a cable from up here and through one of the single conduits here and back and feeding the next one. So, and then the third one is a conduit, a single conduit I created from here up here to this customer that who lives here. Just to show you that we can use multi-conduits to feed customers, but we can also use single conduits to feed customers. They do it depending on how many they are, many customers we are talking about, where they are. So totally there's 3 um, single conduits going into this guy. And you know that, do I have a picture of that? We have this, yeah, single conduit is like this, right? So this is example of the conduit junction where there's 2 single conduits going into the splice point where the cable can be blown in. So this is what I'm talking about here. And then in my test data, I also have a single conduit like this going to a customer as well. Okay. So of course, when you then get the single conduit and you can get all the information you need to where do they go from and to, we can try to do that. I want to have the line information, sorry, line information. It's funny that the auto completion stuff don't work anymore. Oh, anyway, there's a line information on the segment level, so I want to know this segment, what line is it part of. I want the start root node of that line. No, that's not correct. This one I'm doing here. Name of it and the end root. No, I think it's like this. Yeah, it was. So you can see this single conduit goes from SP, the cabinet, to this customer. And then there are two conduits going to this this junction next to the cabinet. So here you have all the information you need to display this. Yeah, of course you also have the type and the color and so on, and you can access that of course as well. For example, the color and the type, it's like it's all the asset information like manufacturer and so on. Now I know auto completion, so I cannot remember it. I think it's asset info. There's something called model name, for example. See if I can remember it. Yeah. See, it's just the model name is just like this. You can take the manufacturer name out. So now we have the manufacturer and the model name, the color of the conduit. So I think we pretty much have everything we need now. Oh, we have also the where it's heading the address. You can get the address information on the nodes by doing something called, actually that's something you have created, location info, and you can say, oh, I think it's access address, street name, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And then we can say house number. So this is like a tree and so on. So you can get the address information also in both ends of this conduit. You can see in the relationship type, if it's ingoing and outgoing conduit. So this way you should be able to get all the information needed to kind of show these single conduits. Now let's try do it the same with the multi-conduit. For this, I'm gonna take all the multi-conduits. And then I can actually I want what I'm interested in here is the children of the multi-conduit segment. So maybe this don't make much sense, but if I say children here, I'll take this one and copy it, steal this guy here. I just remove some of the information here. Don't need it. Manufacturer. So it's easier to follow. Okay. So you see here, now I got the multi-conduit segment. I get it here. And now I get all the child segments of that one. So see, that's the conduit running inside this multi-conduit. So you have one conning running from the cabinet to this guy, and one runs from this to this, and so forth. So here you actually get all the stuff. And of course, you can say conduit. This is the child conduit segment. Now I'm accessing the conduit information of it. So we have, for example, I like the, let's take the name and what should we take? Color. That's what we like, right? So here you can see the color and the name of each inner conduit, where they go from and to. You can also get the number of it. I think we have, you can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4 here. If I want that one, it's called position, and it's on the, yeah, it's called position. Yeah, so you can say here you get the 10 because it's number 10. This is just a text. Could actually be whatever. So you have now all the information needed. Have the address information here. You can see where it goes to. If you also want this address, we can get that out too. So what we're interested in the end node here, actually not the start node. So take the end node, we have the name, which is the installation number. Then we have the location info. Access address. Oh, why is it doing that? Street name, house number. Ah, was really spelled wrong. Okay, so you can see here we have the multi-conduit. It has an inner conduit called this number 10. They just come in, I don't know, random order. I guess this is how they are in the database or something. And this number 10, it goes from, yeah, it goes from, we know it goes from, it's an outgoing, so we know it goes from this one, right? And it goes to this customer here that lives here, right? So now we have all the information to build this up here, right? This is one way to do it. You can also just get all the inner conduits out let's say you want to do this like inner conduit true. False. So now I get all the inner conduits out, and then what I like to know for each inner conduit could be like, now it's not the children I want. I want actually this line information on the inner conduit itself, right? Where is it here? So that's there. Children we don't care about. See, now we get all the inner conduits like this instead. Position, we want that one too, right? And then when you have each inner conduit, you can access the parent information if you want to. So I can say parent. So now I get access to parent conduit segment, and I want maybe I want conduit information of that one. Maybe then what should we take name? Parents actually. is because you can actually have more parents. I'll get back to that. It's a bit, yeah, this is not good. You get all the parents. This is because this guy here might be actually, this is one single conduit, one inner conduit can actually go through many pieces of multi-conduit that has been cut. So I guess this is not the way to do it. You should do it from the top and down. That's easier. Because this is gonna be difficult to find the right one. Otherwise, you should take the parent on, of course, take the parent on the conduit level instead of the conduit segment level. So you can say conduit segment parent. Now you get the conduit instead of the conduit segment. I think I got something wrong here. Parent, it's got parent here because then it will only have one. Yeah. So parent here, we could take something more out. So we can see it's actually the outer conduit as the multi-conduit. We can take the kind out. You see this inner conduit here has a parent conduit that's like this. So it is actually possible to do it this way. But I think maybe it's more intuitive to do it the other way, to start from the multi-conduit and get all the inner conduits and all the information you need to display it. Okay. I think that's it for this video. In the next video, I will show you how to create this guy here, where you create and then you can create the detail. No, actually, I have to do that now. It's so easy. I have there's a, you can specify contour segment ID on this guy here to kind of dig down to one of them. So let's say you click on, let's take this first inner conduit here. Oh, I need the ID. Here. So I can say, okay, now I get that specific conduit, that specific inner conduit, and then I can, um, yeah, you have all the information you need. So when you click on this guy here, but here you need some to know all the segments. So you will of course not use the line information. You will use the segment information. So you'll say, okay, all segments, and then for these you will get from and to maybe. I should have taken that from the other one. From root node name to root node name. All root segments is called. Oh no, it's not that. All conduit segments. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it was start, root, and root name. And root node. So, okay. So now you can see it starts this. And why does it show the same 2 times? Of course, it's a line. I don't want the line. I want the individual segment where they go from and to, right? I think it's called not start and end, then it's called from and to when we are on the individual segment level. Yeah, okay. So it goes from this guy to no name guy, from a known name guy to this guy. And this is of course because now I don't know if it is what, but it will go like this to a point like this and there like this, right? But when you have that, you can also get the segments and the each of these conduit segments, you can get the root segments and the length, for example, and like geometry. So I have root, I think it's called all root segments, and let's take the length out. See, this one is easy. This is the one from the point into the customer. It's only in this 9 meter long. And the one here actually goes through a lot of segments. You can see that. And this is because this is customer number 15. So let's look in the map. Customer 15, where's that one? Is here. So, of course, I will go through this, all the way up here. So it goes through like 10 different segments. The first pipe that the inner conduit goes through that, and then it gets cut over and it go into this guy. So that's why you get so many segments back here. So if you sum up all these lengths, you will have the total length to display. If you want, create like the length like this, you can use the length of the segment to do that. So the cable, you cannot do that yet because there's no cable, fiber cable stuff included in the query API yet. I will do that as the next thing. So I hope that make a little sense. I think it's really bad video, this one, but you get the idea. You can see how you query stuff and then play with it, and then anything you think should be changed, parameters, whatever, you just tell me. If something don't make sense, just tell me, and we can try to, make it more easy usable. I tried my best to make it easy, but it's really hard because it's a kind of the content stuff is complex. It's get easier when we get to the fiber equipment and fiber cables. Okay, bye bye.